before this week, we've seen pushback from opening too quickly with the Wisconsin primary, where the Democratic-leaning judge got elected after the Republican-leaning court brought everyone out to vote that day. But now, this week, we started to see some pushback from people who believe that this response was too slow in reopening.
Which is interesting because a majority of the country still thinks that we're reopening too fast. I believe
Yes.
it's an NBC or a Gallup poll that's out that says about 2/3 of the country thinks that that we're reopening too fast.
Mhm. But nonetheless, we still have seen protests, especially in the great state of Michigan, where we saw, I'm not sure if they coincided, but we saw both a Second Amendment rally and a First Amendment rally. The First Amendment right to assembly, we saw with a bunch of people who brought their cars downtown, clogged up traffic, started honking their horns around town hall. And then we also saw people bringing their AR-15s into the area around that place, just to protest their Second Amendment rights, because that's really the hot button issue right now, apparently.
Yeah, it was kind of incredible happening. If this was a few weeks ago, there were Michigan state lawmakers basically tweeting out saying, or like pictures of literally masked dudes in like military gear, like
Hmm.
wearing tactical vests, helmets, AR-15s with every single kind of attachment that you could imagine. Um, I don't know if they were just AR-15s. I would assume that there's a diverse array of firearms. We make sure that you've got the right amount of firearm representation when you
Yes.
storm the Capitol building. Um, and yeah, Michigan state lawmakers were wearing body armor, um, thanking their sergeants at arms over Twitter, uh, because you're allowed to carry a firearm into the Michigan state house.
Hmm.
And I guess it means you can also carry a firearm into the balcony above where the legislative proceedings happen. So it was almost kind of, I don't know, it kind of looked like a third world country.
But another consequence that we saw was with the First Amendment protests downtown. One of the streets that they were covering had a firefighter unit there, including an ambulance, and that was very close to a hospital, which meant that ambulances had trouble getting out of the fire station and getting to the hospital once they'd eventually picked those people up. So people probably at least suffered adverse effects from this protest, if not something much more grave.